It's time for the Good Life Real Estate Show on KFBK. A top producing agent for Lyon Real Estate with an economics background and a former marketing and sales director for Fortune 500 companies. Here's your host, Mark Solich.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show presented by Golden State Lumber. I am Mark Solich, joined with Mr. Real Estate Professional Joe Corradetti from the Lyon Folsom office. Good morning to you, Joe.
Morning, Mark. How are you?
Good, really good. And we've got to let everybody know if you've got that real estate question, definitely give us a call. 921-1530. That's 921-1530, and we'll be happy to take your call. And if you want that toll-free number, we're going to go with 1-800-834-1530, 1-800-834-1530.
And for those folks that may not be able to call in right now, they may want to email us a question. We may be able to take it online if there's time. If not, Mark Solich or Joe Corradetti will respond to your email. That's mysundayquestion@gmail.com. mysundayquestion@gmail.com. We'd be happy to address any concern or question you have.
So anyway, did you watch that fight last night?
That's my first question for you. I want to know, I want you to fess up, Solich. How much money did you lose yesterday, either on the fight or the Kentucky Derby?
You know, I got to say, we didn't lose any money on the fight. The good thing about that, in fact, I'm thinking that I saved $100 because I was going to sign up for the fight, on pay-per-view, and my wife said, we're not doing that. So I'm thinking I saved $100.
Well, I'm with you. I didn't even sign up for it either, and I didn't bet on anything. There's no patterns or trends to see on that kind of stuff like we see in real estate, so there's no betting on my...
Well, a sports guy like you, I'm surprised you didn't sign up for that because you've got a pulse on all of the sporting events. But speaking of events, we've got some great information today on the real estate market. It's ever-changing, especially with, inventory starting to increase somewhat. But, what really predicates, the housing market, supply and demand and inventory and sales has a lot to do with the local economy. And we've got some good news on that local economy. I mean, if you take a look at the state foreclosures actually fell 13.8% in quarter one compared to a year ago, which is great news. And even on a national level, foreclosure filings this quarter compared to last is down 8%. So we're starting to see a lot of home sales in the market today that, in fact, last quarter, 85% of all home sales, Joe, were equity sales, meaning sellers were taking money out of the escrow to either buy up, buy down, or buy sideways, move to another neighborhood. But it's definitely a much better real estate market today than it was just a few years ago.
Time sometimes has a way of healing a market or bringing it back when we had that correction that we did in 2008. And I think there's a statistic in here, Mark, nationwide about how much equity since the fall, how much equity nationwide that people have come to garner in their homes. And of course, that's a good thing. Once there's a lot of equity, sellers have many, many options.
They really do. And in fact, we've got a caller on the line. I think he's got a question about high-end housing. Bill, welcome to the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show. How can we help you?
Good morning. Thank you. I built a house 10 years ago with the mindset of just selling it in 2 years when the market was real good. Then the market took a crash. So when everybody else let them go, I kept it. And I went upside down. Now I'm back to where there's some equity in it. I'm just wondering, what do you see in the high-end market right now in the stuff that's right around $1 million, $1.2 million? And where do you think it'll be in the next couple of years?
Yeah, Bill, that's a great question. In fact, that's one of the topics that Joe and I were going to cover on the show. And the good news for you, the upper-end market, which in Sacramento we consider above $750,000. For example, the first quarter, January through March, pending sales were up 45% compared to the year before. So definitely You're seeing a lot of movement in that upper price range. And a lot of that's really driven by, the unemployment rates coming down. And over the last several years, the three stock exchanges, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow, have given some substantial returns. So the upper end market is really doing well today. So I think you're in the ballpark as far as if you're thinking about listing your home.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
still here.
Oh, okay. What do you think between now and next year? What kind of increase percentage-wise you think we'll see in the market?
That's a great question, and we're fortunate enough now we have so much data. I'm going to ask you some specific questions just to help you out. What city is your home located in?
Rockland. It's in Whitney Oaks.
Okay, and is there anything unique about the property? Nice lot, beautiful backyard, a lot of upgrades.
Well, it's custom built. I mean, they're all nice in there.
Okay.
They're all unique.
Okay, and Bill, in that specific area, would you say in the few blocks around yours, have you seen many homes on the market for sale today?
There's not many, no.
I mean, I'll give you a case in point. Just in this market alone, we've only got 1.8 months of inventory. So basically what that's saying is that if sales continue on the same pace, we're going to be sold out of product within the next 1.8 months. So to answer your question is, that's a nice area that you're located in. You're probably going to see some appreciation, in the 3 to 7% over the next 12 months.
Okay.
Bill, I
Well,
wanted
that's good to know.
Bill, I wanted to jump in here too. Again, continuing the thought with Mark with inventory. That 1.8 months inventory is everything thrown into the hash. Now, the higher end market, Bill, your inventory is higher than that. Even though there may not be any homes immediately for sale near you, there could be competition. For example, if you take Rockland, Roseville, there may be more competition in the higher end market than in the lower end market.
And the one thing that, because I've sold a lot of homes in that market and a lot of land is, Rockland, you're probably aware of this, Bill, but you've got more square foot of parks in Rockland than any other city in the state of California. You're in Placer County, which is the 4th fastest growing county in the state. It's the 5th for the highest median income. So you're in a great position there. And if you ever would like us to do a free market analysis for you on what the value of your home is worth today, we'll be happy to help you out. So,
and Bill, don't be afraid to stress the good quality schools that are up there too.
Oh, I know. We raised our kids there, so.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Schools are fantastic. Love the area, man. I love the area. It just, the house was way more than what we needed, and I built it just to sell it and get out of it in 2 years. And when 2 years came, it just didn't. We didn't sell it, and then the market took a crash, and I decided, well, we'll just stay and ride this thing out. But man, we've ridden it up for 10 years, and that's way more house than what we need.
do you think you're going to put it on the market this year, or you're not sure?
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be this year or next spring.
Well, I'll say one thing: your house is not going to be worth any less in 12 months. So,
True.
Well, that's the big thing there. I mean, it's more house than what we need now, but I'm not ready to sell it. I got personal things I got to take care of, so it's probably going to be next spring.
yeah. Do you have? It sounds like you probably have a pretty good idea of the price point. Do you have some good equity built into the home now, or not?
Yeah.
So
Probably. Yeah.
So the question, do you use that for a down payment, or do you take that money and invest it in some other investments so you get some, better returns on what you think you're going to get in the appreciation for that home over the next 12 months? In addition, the utilities that you're going to pay and things like that.
Oh, I would downsize and house a bunch.
Yeah.
I would downsize, and I'm getting older. I'm 53 and not going to work forever, so I want to downsize quite a bit. I have another lot in there that I thought about building on or selling. It's 3 lots down that I've had for 10 years also.
Yeah, and so, I just, I did a big transaction last year, sold a lot of land to D.R. Horton, and, you're in a great position there. Even on those lots, I promise you, those lots are going to be worth more next year than they are today, so you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, the lots just don't seem to be selling, though. There's lots for sale, and they're not selling.
Yeah, I think a lot of it really depends on, the agent that you're working with, how they market the lots, what the price point is. There's so much exposure in the market today in terms of different internet sites. Again, if you're interested in myself or Joe giving you a free estimate of value on what your current home is worth today in those lots, we'd be happy to do that. I mean, I don't think, as long as I've been in real estate, I don't think I think there's only been one listing that I've had that I've never closed, and I've sold a lot of lots. I mean, I sold a lot in in El Dorado Hills at the Summit last year, 1.5 acres for $1.2 million. So it just really depends on who you work with.
Wow. Okay.
But we've got your
Alrighty.
numbers. It's the best number to call you back. Joe or I will give you a call, or we'll keep it on record here. And if we could help you, please let us know.
All right. Thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
joining
calling in,
the show, Bill.
Have a
You know, Joe, that's a classic example of, what the mantra is of our radio show is what we can do, to help the listeners. And, there's a lot of questions out there in terms of, is it the right time to buy or is it the right time to sell? We're going to go into a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about the economy, how it's impacting the local real estate market, and especially stay tuned because we're going to have special tips for home sellers in the market today and special tips for home buyers. We'll be back.
Working around the clock for Sacramento.
Their traffic reports tell me where the problems are and the best ways around them.
Traffic reports every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons. News Radio KFBK, 93.1 FM and 1530 AM.
Mother's Day, celebrate the special bond between mom and her children with jewelry from the Mother and Child collection at Shane Company. Price from $100 to $375. Actually, a couple of my favorites are their new $100 styles. Our collection consists of pendants with either a natural pink sapphire symbolizing girls, a blue sapphire symbolizing boys, or a cultured freshwater pearl symbolizing motherhood. Our collection also includes mother and child pendants with a diamond, as well as pendants that you can personalize with an engraving. The Italian silver chain's adjustable, so she can wear her pendant with any outfit. For a unique and meaningful mother and child pendant that she'll cherish forever, come to Shane Company or visit shaneco.com.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business. Shane Company in Roseville on North Sunrise across from the Auto Mall. Open weekdays till 8, Saturday and Sunday till 5, online at shaneco.com.
Today, for 24 hours,
our community
will come together
for one big day of giving.
If you love living here, go to bigdayofgiving.org until midnight tonight.
And put your money where your heart is. Every donation will get a boost from our incentive pool.
Our iHeartRadio app. Here's another little sample.
Let's go!
Fireball.
Music and radio in one free app. Create your own custom stations. Listen to the best live radio stations across the country. Open our iHeartRadio app today. Or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Integrity, professionalism, work ethic. Now, back to the Good Life Real Estate Show with Mark Solich on News Radio KFBK.
Thanks for joining the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show presented by Golden State Lumber. I'm Mark Solich, joined with Mr. Real Estate Professional Joe Cordetti with the Lyon Real Estate team out of the Folsom office. And if you've got that real estate question, definitely give us a call, 921-1530. That's 921-1530, and we'll be happy to take your call. We've actually got a call. We're going to take a call from Kevin. He's got a house question. Kevin, thanks for joining the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show with Mr. Joe Cordetti.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I do have a question. And it's really a two-piece question. First question is, we're looking at putting our house up on the market. We live in Modesto. And the other thing is, too, some people say having a corner lot is worth more because we have a good-sized backyard and it fits on the side of the house. And some people say it's worth more than will be a house that has butted up against each other. Is that true?
That's a good question. It really depends on, the corner lot, because you've got, you got traffic coming from, both streets. So the one question that you're going to ask yourselves is, sometimes the corner lot does provide added value, but I think you want to look in the overall scheme of things is there much traffic on that corner? And
no, there isn't.
So if there isn't, then more times than not, it does add value to the property. But, you want to take into consideration, the size of the backyard. Is it a regular or irregular shape, and the landscaping and the layout of the backyard as well, and the front yard?
Yeah, exactly. It is. And so some even told me, says it's big and wide enough in the back that they can take and put the fence into a gate and put a motorhome back there. And I said, well, yeah, you can.
And that's an added value too. I mean, you see a lot of people today that they are looking for that side gate or side yard that they could, actually have enough room to put an RV back there, or even a ski boat or a wakeboard boat or something like that.
Oh, perfect. Yes, that's good. Second question. Basically, have you guys seen that there's more of a demand for a single-story home than a two-story home?
Boy, that's Joe, you want to answer that question?
Absolutely, positively, Kevin. Huge demand. Huge demand for one-story homes. A lot of factors are contributing to that. I know Mark and I are currently working with several buyers trying to find one-story homes, and it's just not an easy thing to do. They're out there, you can do it, but it's not an easy thing to do. And one of the reasons we have this situation is, number one, a lot of baby boomers, they're looking to downsize and they don't want steps anymore. And number two, a lot of the builders, they don't build one-story homes. It's more conducive to their business model to build two-story homes. And a lot of times people just want the larger homes, but it is a tough thing to find.
And the other thing to amplify what Joe said, Kevin, is that, it depends on the local community too. I mean, sometimes you'll have a single-story home that doesn't have the high ceilings, whereas a two-story, when you walk in the foyer, you've got a higher ceiling and things like that. And alluding to what Joe said, we work in the local Greater Sacramento region, most of our home sales. And case in point, there's a local community called Gold River. It's an aging demographic, and the premium for a single-story home compared to a two-story, if it's the identical square footage, same upgrades, same size lot, you're probably going to get 5 or 7% more on that single-story home. But a lot of times it really depends on the local community too.
Well, that's good. I've been wondering about that because I look up there. My wife looks in the papers, sees several things. And, of course, yes, we're a baby boomer too. And so, again, the point that I'm 59, my wife is,
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
Attaboy, Kevin.
We're looking. Oh, yeah, so we're looking for it. So I appreciate it, guys. But even looking at debating about these places now, you're seeing 55 and above, these gated communities or whatever. And I thought, God, am I that old to get into a senior community now?
Well, take advantage of it. There's a lot of nice ones out there, Kevin, those 55 and older. But it's got to be something you want, so you would need to go into depth and find out what amenities they have, just like buying a house. Because really, Kevin, it's, Mark and I use the same, I think, adage a lot of times. You're not really buying a house, you're buying a lifestyle, right? It's a new canvas to paint on. It's an important one at this stage in your life. So if you do go into those communities, ask a lot of questions as to what they have, and of course, the homes. And the last thing I'll say is you can find one-story homes, Kevin, but just take that persistence, the perseverance, and the patience, and just go looking for it. But you can find them. And,
Kevin, just the case in point is I just represented some sellers last week. I closed on their single-story home, and they're in their, I think I want to say like 75 or 78 years old, and they are in really good health, but they are moving into a retirement community. And they said to me, gosh, we're in really good health right now, but we never know in the next year or two. And that's what they did. They, like Joe said, they did a lot of research on the amenities. They had a lot of lunches and breakfasts and dinners over there. They got to meet the folks that were within the community, the indoor swimming pool, outdoor swimming pool, and the food is spectacular. And how they equated their move into that community was, it's like you're on a cruise ship without the water. So
yeah, no, that's something to look at. Yeah. As long as they don't mind having a Harley in the neighborhood, that's all. I'm not one of those wild guys. Yeah. But I appreciate guys, and I do enjoy it. Listening to you guys all the time, and you do a phenomenal job. And I just think is that one other thing is that we're able to probably pay off a house, but do I want to do it at 59 or do it at 63, pay off a house and just pay the interest for the next 4 or 5 years? That's something I got to check and see.
Yeah, definitely look into that. And you probably have a tax accountant. I would talk to them as well. So we've got your name and number here, Kevin, and we always file everything for our database. And if we could ever help you, let us know.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for joining
Kevin.
the show.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept is, somebody at that age, they're in really good health. They're not sure what they want to do. What equity do they have in the home? What community do they want to move into next? I mean, my wife and I, case in point, 6 years ago, we went from a 2-story to a single story. And for us, it worked out really, really well.
And you're right, Mark. And I think as we continue to work with those people, they have a lot of legitimate questions, and it's an extremely important time in their lives. Not that any other time is not important, but after, for example, if I could isolate on a particular situation, after they've raised a family and the kids are grown and gone, priorities change. And the next move, now they're going to leave a lot of memories behind. And I think a lot of them will tell you that now we're going to move to a new point in our lives, and this is probably going to be our last move. So it's crucial that they find a community and a lifestyle that fits them, that suits them, so they can have that happy time.
That's exactly right. And the nice thing about, that move that they're going to make is there's a lot more selection today than there were, 20 years ago. And Joe, if you don't mind, I'm going to give out your number in case, there's some folks out there that want to learn more about, senior living communities. We've got some beautiful ones up in the Roseville, Lincoln area. Give Joe Corradetti a call. His number is 916-817-9695. That's Joe Corradetti, 916-817-9695, and he'll be happy to help you out. So, Joe, I'm looking at, Sacramento County top for growth in 2012, 2013 for all of the United States for the largest counties in the U.S., the job growth in Sacramento 2012, 2013 had a growth rate of 5.5%. So, if you look at, the next city and state in line would be Texas. So we're seeing a lot of positive things happening in Sacramento. I mean, the housing developments, you got the Folsom south of Highway 50 that's being built out. You've got, the rail yard next to downtown is going to be flourishing here in the next couple of years. And you've got a lot of infill projects. And, our biggest bottleneck right now, which is slowing down our sales, is we just don't have the darn inventory.
The factors are all moving in the positive direction. And again, forgive us if we're repeating ourselves, but it's kind of like, Mark, our biweekly update of how's the market. Okay, unemployment is getting better. It's coming down. The inventory is creeping up. It's not significantly up, but it's creeping up, offering more choices to buyers. Home prices, they continue to rise. Home values continue to rise, enabling people to gather and build more equity in their homes, which in turn enhances them to sell, and again, offers more choices with buyers.
Absolutely.
So the factors are headed in the right direction. We're very fortunate here in Sacramento that we can say that, time after time.
Oh, absolutely. And case in point is, it's very challenging today for buyers to find a property. I mean, it's difficult to do. And just last week alone, I represented a buyer who's looking for a home in Folsom. We've been working together for 6 months, pre-approved, great credit, ready to buy in the $500,000 to $600,000 price range. We set them up on a unique home finder software package with Lyon Real Estate. So anytime a home comes on the market that meets his criteria, number of beds, number of baths, pool, no pool, square footage of the home, price point, he is notified immediately when that home hits MLS. And I want to kudos to Lyon Real Estate to have this phenomenal home finder package. But so basically what he did was he called me, said, hey, can we go take a look at the home? I called the seller, and under confidential agent remarks, it said lockbox will be on the property tomorrow morning. I called the seller. It happened to be a for sale by owner. And I said, hey, I've got a client pre-approved. Can we go look at the property tomorrow morning at 8:30? And he said, absolutely. We looked at the property at 8:30, and 10 a.m. wrote up a full price offer, $500 over list. Gave the seller until 4 p.m. that afternoon to make a decision on if he wanted to accept our offer. Went into contract that day. So really important today, folks, if you're a buyer in the market, have that pre-approval letter, work with a good real estate agent, get set up with Home Finder with Lyon Real Estate. We're going to go into a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about more tips for buyers. And Joe, I know you've got a lot of special tips for home sellers in the marketplace. 921-1530, we'll be back.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Harris, News Radio KFBK. Drugs could be to blame for a blast that hurt a child, and Baltimore may be on its way back to normal. Details coming up in less than 60 seconds. But first, with traffic and weather together, here's KFBK's Lisa Daniels in the Sunworks Solar Traffic Center.
Westbound 80 before Northgate Boulevard. That's a solo vehicle down the ditch, and they may have the right lane blocked to get that out of the way. Looking good I-5 southbound from I-80 to Elk Grove Boulevard, and no delays eastbound 50 from 80-99 to Folsom Boulevard. Your next report, 11 o'clock. Lisa Daniels, News Radio KFBK, 93.1 FM, 1530 AM.
Nice cool Delta breeze coming in, so it'll stay comfortably warm this afternoon with temperatures generally in the low 80s. We'll be in that same range tomorrow. I'm KCRA 3 meteorologist Eileen Javora on News Radio KFBK.
71 degrees in Auburn, 64 in Carmichael, and 63 in Sacramento under clear blue skies at 10:31. A child was one of the two people hurt in a fire near Nevada City. Now investigators are trying to figure out if it was started by an explosion. Cal Fire says it started off Polk Place near Riffle Way. The crews managed to keep it from spreading. The injuries considered minor. Two men who live at the home are now under arrest after items consistent with a butane honey oil lab were found inside. Oakland's mayor and police chief admit that they fell short in controlling what police said was a night of some of the heaviest damage in marches that turned violent. Up to 400 people roamed dozens of blocks of Oakland's downtown Friday night into Saturday morning, smashing glass in businesses and cars, especially several of them on a car lot. Oakland police had trouble dealing with the crowd that turned larger and angrier than they expected. Baltimore's mayor has lifted a citywide curfew 6 days after the death of Freddie Gray sparked riots in that city. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake also toured the mall that was closed for a week following looting on Monday. She says she's happy with the way the community has come together in the week following the riot.
I think a lot of the unrest has been settled down in the sense of the protest, but that doesn't mean the work doesn't continue. We are actively engaging with the Department of Justice on collaborative review.
6 officers faced various charges for what prosecutors say was their role in Gray's death. New York City officials say a man accused of shooting a police officer in the head will be in court this afternoon for arraignment on charges including 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer. Demetrius Blackwell was arrested last night in connection with the shooting of Officer Brian Moore, who is still in the hospital in critical but stable condition. The boxing match, years in the making, lived up to the hype, sort of, and after going the full 12 rounds, Floyd Mayweather gets the unanimous decision over Manny Pacquiao, keeps his undefeated record, and is now the undisputed welterweight champion. Promoter Bob Arum with Top Rank Boxing says Pacquiao may have aggravated a shoulder injury during the match.
A guy is injured in training. He then deals with the injury. He thinks he's conquered it, and then he gets re-injured in the game.
Mayweather says he has 1 fight left in his contract, and then he will retire. NBA playoffs round 2 is underway. Washington is in Atlanta in game 1 of their series, and going into the second quarter, the Hawks lead the Wizards 39-28. Later game today is game 1 of the Golden State Warriors series with the Memphis Grizzlies. Dubs hosting that one in Oakland. Tip-off is at 12:30. Stay connected. Your next update is at 11 o'clock. News alerts immediately at KFBK.com. Back to the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show with Joe Cordetti. Faster than you can rake in the dough from a reverse mortgage. I'm Ryan Harris. News Radio KFBK on 93.1 FM and 1530 AM.
SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with 1 claim compared to Assurant total equipment coverage as of April 10th, 2015.
Getting a new Galaxy, iPhone, or other smartphone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So protecting your new smartphone is a smart idea. But if you have insurance from one of those big cell phone companies, you're paying way too much. I'm Steve Abernethy, and I founded SquareTrade to give you a better choice. Phone insurance from Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carriers can cost you as much as $11 every month, plus up to $199 deductible when you break your phone. SquareTrade phone protection is less than $5 a month with a much lower deductible. We can save you over $240. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. Even if you're locked into a 2-year phone contract with Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carrier, you can cancel their phone insurance anytime. We'll even show you how.
Switch to SquareTrade now and save over $240. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
SquareTrade! iHeartRadio salutes Who Cares Teen Cancer America, founded by Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend of The Who. Roger Daltrey.
Well, the music business would not exist today without the support of teenagers. They've been totally overlooked within the system, and we're out to change that. It's very difficult to get them to open up about their fears. By putting them together, the best psychologist for a teenager is another teenager.
Join Roger and Pete. Learn how you can help make life a little easier for teens battling cancer. Visit teencanceramerica.org.
This is Kitty O'Neill reminding you to check out the Lexus Savings Center. It's only at Lexus of Sacramento. You'll get unheard of prices on great cars in the Lexus Savings Center, 2600 Fulton Avenue, online at lexusofsacramento.com.
He has a passion for the real estate market and to help you. Mark Solich on the Good Life Real Estate Show on News Radio KFBK.
Thanks for joining the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show presented by Golden State Lumber. I'm Mark Solich, joined with my co-host, Mr. Joe Cordetti, the real estate professional out of the Lyon office. And, we've talked about, and if you've got that real estate question, give us a call, 921-1530, 921-1530. And we'll be happy to take your call. Joe, we know over the last several years there's been a lot of investment buying and selling going on. And there's one company that I highly always recommend, and that's Sacramento Delta Property Management, someone that you could count on, specializing in the management and rental of single-family homes. Been local here for 30 years. Ted White, their president and owner, his mantra is, what can we do to exceed our clients' expectations? Of course, Deanna Blanton, their vice president, always makes it a point to exceed their clients' expectations. What I like about Sacramento Delta Property Management, they've got strict qualifying standards. If the tenant makes sense for the landlord, they'll put them into a year contract. 99.9% of their contracts are always fulfilled. Sacramento Delta only charges 50% of the first month's rent to fill a vacancy. They've got account managers throughout the greater Sacramento market, and what Sacramento Delta Property Management does is they'll have an account manager in Roseville, they'll have one in Elk Grove, and these account managers know that local neighborhood like the back of their hand, so they know exactly how long it's going to take to rent out a property. They know the exact rental income the property is going to generate. And if you're interested in learning more about Sacramento Delta Property Management, there's absolutely no obligation. Give them a call Monday through Friday. Phone number 916-486-7733. That's 916-486-7733. They'll be happy to help you. And they've been in the market a long time, know the market really, really well. Very, very reputable, great company to work for and work with. And if you want to actually check out a current rental list, if you're looking for a rental property, go to www.sacdelt.com. That's www.sacdelt.com. Again, give them a call if you're interested in the top-notch property management company in the market. 916-486-7733. Let them know Mark and Joe sent you, and you'll be pleased to get in contact with them. Yeah, Joe, the market is ever changing. I mean, it's, we've seen more pending sales today than we've seen in a long time. Typically a home on the market, if it's priced properly and marketed effectively, you're going to go into contract within 30 to 45 days.
But those 2 points have to be emphasized. If it's priced correctly and it's marketed effectively, competition's still out there. And Mark, even though the buyers, the pool of buyers is limited, but I think we're finding that buyers, they have become a little more choosy, a little more finicky. They're not, they're not rushing to judgment. And the inventory, even though we say it's a limited inventory, it's not that there's no inventory. It's limited. It's still, it's still creeping up there. So, talking with sellers, absolutely. A, priced appropriately. B, marketed effectively. Should not take a long time. And the statistics show it's not going to take that long.
That's exactly right. And I would say over the last 2 or 3 months, the homes that I've sold, that I've listed, went into contract on the average within 30 days. And I always recommend to consult with a professional staging company. And it's amazing today what the staging companies can do in terms of driving more traffic, selling the home more quickly, and at a higher price. And the company I always recommend, they do a phenomenal job. They've got a big warehouse full of inventory. Premier Home Staging and Design, Lori Polk is the owner. Her number, 300-0402. That's area code 916-300-0402. And she staged, and after our show today, Joe, I'm going to take you by this new listing that's going on the market next week. She staged that home last week, and it looks spectacular. And if you look at the stats on staging, typically, like I said, the home sells more quickly, sells for a higher price. And the National Association of Realtors have ran some studies over the last 12 months. And on the average, if the home is properly staged and marketed effectively, you get a 5% on the average higher sales price. So it's phenomenal what the return is.
The good stagers, Mark, that's a good point. But the good stagers also, what do? They increase the marketability of the home, increase the presence, increase the value of the presentation, and they do it in a neutral way. They do it in a generic way because, again, as cruel as it sounds, homeowners with that home you have many memories in, what matters is not that they can see how you lived in the home. What matters is that the buyers can picture their lives in the home. Stagers really do that well.
That's exactly right. And today buyers, they're savvy. They 93% of the buyers today in the market, start their home search on the internet, and they know what they're looking for. They want to walk into a home and see the wow factor. They want to walk in there and not think of what do I need to do to change the color of the walls, the flooring, the kitchen. They want to walk in there and say, this home fits exactly my lifestyle. And I'm going to mention that listing that's going to come on the market next week, and I know you've got one too, Joe, is this home that I've got in Gold River. Folks, listen carefully. It's probably the most beautiful home one of the most beautiful homes I've ever listed in Gold River. It's on a cul-de-sac, very quiet neighborhood within Gold River. It's 2,600 square feet. The seller has put over $480,000 in remodeling within the home. I mean, it's now got a saltwater pool, new pool equipment, installation of the pool and the spas, all under remote control. Some of the things that are amazing about this, the kitchen remodel, I mean, you've got Sub-Zero refrigerators, Sub-Zero freezers, Wolf gas range, 6-burner, Miele coffee espresso machine, microwave. The custom cabinetry in the house, $97,000. The guest baths got 2 shower units, body sprays, handheld controls, steam shower. The great room, and this is included in the purchase price, an 85-inch TV, and it's got movie theater quality sound, over $12,000. The home is completely networked, for interior Wi-Fi. It's got a Lutron lighting control system. What's really cool about this home is it's got what we call electronic mini blinds and drapery. For example, is the drapes and blinds are set to open and close based on the time of the day to keep the house cool or warm. And the seller spent $25,000 on this technology. The chandelier in the foyer, imported from Italy, $9,500. The upstairs master bath, radiant floor heating. You got to see this home, folks. If I could help you arrange for a private showing, my number, 346-8422. That's 916-346-8422. I promise you, you will be so impressed with this home. It's just incredible.
So, Mark, you're being honest with us now. This is a house, and this is not the center for a country club, right?
It's not Pebble Beach, the 5-star resort on the ocean. It's just, you got to take a look, folks. 346-8422. Joe, I know you've got a new listing coming up next week in Broadstone. Let's let the folks know about this one.
Yeah, thanks. Real quickly, it'll be available Friday of next week. 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in Broadstone, and that floor plan in that subdivision's kind of rare. 1,600 square feet approximately. Real nice home, gas fireplace, upgraded kitchen. It's got a real nice lot, very close to, and it's actually located between Gold River Elementary and Kemp Park. And of course, it's close to the college, it's close to Broadstone, it's close to the Pavilion. It's in one of the more desirable sections of Folsom. So I don't expect it to last long. And by the way, one of our final steps, I have stagers coming in on Wednesday. So we'll have it on the market on Friday. If anyone out there listening has any interest at all in this 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in Broadstone, please do not hesitate to contact me. 916-817-9695. We'll get you in there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Corradetti with the Lyon Folsom office. We're going to go into a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about some tips for buyers, some tips for sellers. So definitely stay tuned because it'll make a big difference in if you're going to sell or buy a home over the next several months. 921-1530. We'll be back.
Whether it's farm to fork,
so good,
or the food truck frenzy, local is in. Fresh fare from folks who know the area. You could say the same thing about the KFBK News team. They have a unique insight on Sacramento because they live here too. The stories that touch your life touch their lives. And they're serving them up at the top and bottom of every hour. News Radio KFBK, 93.1 FM and 1530 AM.
Okay, veterans, if your home loan is over a year old, you could be paying hundreds more than you need to. I'm Tom Sullivan for my friends and the absolute VA experts at Sierra View Financial. If you currently have a VA loan, do yourself a favor. Check out the VA interest rate reduction refinance loan. There is no appraisal, no income verification. It can be done with no money out of pocket. VA loans have no minimum, and you can finance up to $1.5 million. Make the 5-minute call to Sierra View Financial. Ask about converting your conventional loan to VA. Tell them Tom Sullivan sent you. Phone number 916-989-6222. 989-6222. That's 916-989-6222. I'm Tom Sullivan, and on behalf of myself and Sierra View Financial, thank you so much for your service.
California Bureau of Real Estate. Real estate broker license number 01069872. NMLS number 282458.
Built for business. Your business depends on the internet, but who does your internet depend on? Your human resources director / marketing manager / IT person / aren't you busy enough already? Well, there's a more dependable way to depend on your internet. Comcast Business has vetted and trained more than 1,700 dedicated business specialists to keep your business up and running 24/7, 365. Business specialists specializing in your business / internet / Wi-Fi / success / you. And if you switch to Comcast Business Internet today, they're giving you a 30-day money-back guarantee with speeds up to 150 megabits per second and better value. It's a pretty smart call. Speaking of calling, here's the number. 800-501-6000. That's 800-501-6000. Or visit ComcastBusiness.com. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Every mom is special. That's why on Mother's Day, every mom deserves a gift of jewelry from Shane Company. We have the largest selection with styles no other jewelers have, from $100 to thousands. Our non-commissioned jewelry experts can show you our latest Italian gold or sterling silver jewelry, including trendy stackable bracelets, necklaces that you can mix and match, and lockets, which you can personalize with photos and an engraving. We also have the largest selection of jewelry with diamonds, natural rubies, and sapphires, cultured pearls, and other gemstones in lots of fashionable colors. Whether for your own mom or for the mother of your children, you'll easily find perfect Mother's Day gifts at Shane Company.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business, Shane Company, in Roseville on North Sunrise across from the Auto Mall. Open weekdays till 8, Saturday and Sunday till 5, online at shaneco.com.
She was the first U.S. Greek-American woman to be a U.S. ambassador, and she's from Sacramento. You'll hear more at 6:40 Monday on News Radio KFBK.
Integrity, professionalism, work ethic. Now, back to the Good Life Real Estate Show with Mark Solich on News Radio KFBK.
Thanks for joining the Mark Solich Good Life Real Estate Show presented by Golden State Lumber. I'm Mark Solich, joined with my co-host, real estate professional, Mr. Joe Corradetti with the Lyon Real Estate Company. And if you've got that real estate question, give us a call, 921-1530. That's 921-1530. Got to give a quick commercial here to Lyon Real Estate, the leadership of Pat Shea, the president and chief operating officer of the company. If you're currently with a real estate broker or thinking about getting into the real estate business, I'm going to give you a local number here. Erin Nelson, one of the brokers. Give her a call, 355-7000. That's 355-7000. As far as number of offices, 17 throughout the Greater Sacramento market, the marketing tools, the training, the mantra of Lyon Real Estate, spearheaded by Mr. Pat Shea, is what can the broker do to ensure that the agents working for Lyon Real Estate maximize sales by exceeding buyers and sellers' expectations. So definitely give Aaron Nelson a call, 355-7000. Joe, we talked about different buying tips and seller tips in today's market, and one of it really starts right off the bat if you're in the market to purchase, is making sure that you align yourself with a good lender. And my preferred lender is Vitek Mortgage. They care. They've been in this market, this community, for over 27 years. And Vitek competes with the big banks and products. Their services are the very best. In fact, Vitek surveys their customers and receives a 98% raving fan review. And, that's how you really can tell how you're doing in the market if you're any business, from a real estate agent to a mortgage broker, is what type of feedback do you get from your clients. They've got all of the tools to make sure that you qualify. They're easy to do business with. Vitek offers a complete and competitive array of loan programs, not just the forward mortgages, but our reverse mortgage specialist, Esther Fuller. Definitely give her a call. Her number is 916-715-7244. That's Esther Fuller, the reverse mortgage specialist with Vitek Mortgage, 715-7244. If you're thinking about a forward mortgage, definitely give John Easterbrook a call with Vitek Mortgage. He's the President's winner. 224-7653. That's area code 916-224-7653. The thing about Vitek, you receive the added value, peace of mind. It's a money-back guarantee. Closing on time, good rates, low fees. And they've got the home buyer privilege program, saves you thousands of dollars in products and services. Vitek even offers a free home security system. So their mantra, beyond the loan business, they're in the people business. I encourage all of my clients and you to call Vitek for your home loan needs, or go online to visit teamvitek.com. That's TEAMVITITEK.com, or give John Easterbrook a call, 224-7653, or Esther Fuller for that reverse mortgage, 715-7244. Go online, teamvitek.com. And we've seen it time and time again, Joe, that sometimes we'll get a phone call that, a buyer wants to start to look for homes. And the first question I ask, have you been pre-approved?
Have to get pre-approved, and you're right, Mark. These days, submitting an offer without a pre-approved letter is just gonna get you to the back of the line. They may not even look at it. And I even hesitate with buyers if they're waiting for one to get updated. I even hesitate to send it in and say, "Hey, I'll give it to you tomorrow." I even hesitate to do that because a lot of times it can be that competitive. Not always, but it can be that competitive.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I always encourage too, because the market is so hot right now, and so little inventory, that get that pre-underwriting approval letter as well, and that will give you the opportunity to really compete with cash buyers, and you could probably close escrow within 3 weeks, as opposed to the lenders are so busy today. If it's just a pre-approval letter, they like that 30-day escrow. But take the time, give Corradetti a call, and we will get you set up with Vitek Mortgage to get that pre-underwriting approval, and you could compete with anybody in the market with that and close within 3 weeks.
Yeah, let's make sure we emphasize that underwriter approval, that pre-approval underwriting, Mark, that takes 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Yes, you have to bring some paperwork in, pay stubs, the like. They're going to do the credit check, but it's not it's not an excruciating experience, and it can be done very quickly with a sit down with John at Vitek, for example, who can take care of it in a short period of time. It's not that involved of a process, but it gets you something that it's extremely valuable when you're going to put an offer in a house.
That's exactly right. And we've seen a little hiccup in the economy, with GDP last quarter just growing at 0.2%, whereas the quarter before we were at, I think 5.5, the quarter before that over 2. So, the economy, kind of shut down a little bit last quarter. You look at the rise in the value of the dollar. It hurt our exports. You've got the the unemployment numbers are getting better, but we had some weather factors. But the reason why I'm bringing all of these things up is there may be a little bit of hiccup, but eventually the Fed is going to raise their Fed fund rate, which will effectively raise mortgage rates. And if you are in the market, it's better to go sooner rather than later to purchase, because prices are going to continue to increase, and eventually mortgage rates are going to continue or start to go up. So if I could help you, let me know, 346-8422, or definitely give Mr. Cordetti a call.
Yeah, let's emphasize too, before we run out of time, I wanted to mention buyers, don't be avoided with this obsession to buy at the perfect time. Okay, when home values are at the right point, and the interest rates are at the right point, and don't wait for that. It's like picking the stock market. I mean, if you're like me, you probably throw darts at a dartboard and do just as well as some of these prognosticators. But don't be obsessed to do that. Don't be obsessed with the killer deal. We're in a market that's no longer appreciating rapidly in double digits, but it's still appreciating. So I would encourage buyers, concentrate on securing that new home with a price you can live with and a monthly mortgage obligation that you can manage and still have discretionary income. Don't be concerned about getting that monster deal that'll make you, king of the hill for a while.
And, it just, you can equate that to what Warren Buffett says. I mean, recently, there was somebody asked him, what's the most effective way to get appreciation in the stock market? And he said, hey, you don't time the market. You just, get the compound working for you, diversify your portfolio, but don't try to time the market, because it never works. Just to say, that really supports what you said, Joe, is, if you want to buy now. You've got low rates. Prices are going to continue to go up. So if I could help you, let me know, 346-8422. Joe, what's your number?
916-817-9695.
And we want to thank you for listening to our show today.